your two coaches for tonight's game. Bob Knight looking for his 548th career victory, and Dr. Tom Davis. Your officials, Tom Rucker's the referee. The umpires are Phil Bova and Burl Self. Keys to the game, lads.
For Indiana, they've got to watch the foul trouble. Both Anderson and Cheney got in trouble against Purdue, and they had to sit out a lot of the second half. They have to break the press. Expect Iowa to full court press. They won a wild game, and they must block out. Iowa does not take real good shots, but they follow them very well. For Iowa, they've got to use some three-point shooting. Skinner and Barnes particularly are very good outside shooters. They run a full court zone defense that can be very effective. They score a lot on turnovers, and they want to keep an up-tempo game. They want to keep a game that goes back and forth all the way.
All right, we're just about set to get things underway. Indiana starting once again a lineup that they feel has to match up. Height-wise, if nothing else, that would be Lawson against A.C. Earl. And immediately we're going to have to see just how well Lawson can contain or can defend against Earl, who undoubtedly is going to go right down in post.
It's hard to follow the pattern of the Iowa offense because they like to move quickly up the floor, and whoever has the open shot goes ahead and takes it. But if they do set it up, they want to go right in the block to Earl and let him work.
Indiana controls the tip and throws it away immediately. First turnover of the game. So a costly move there to start the contest. What might have meant the lead basket for the Hoosiers and now the Hawkeyes. After that turnover, will try to employ their first opportunity at offense. Winters, and that's Earl outside. They'll play him all over the court. Near steal by Anderson. They try to go inside, but there's a foul. It'll be on Meeks.
See, Iowa will not hesitate to flop the forwards and the big people, the guards and the big people. As you saw Earl all the way outside to hold the ball on the point, and then one of the guards down inside posted on Jamal.
Number 23 is Winters. Ball is stolen. So after throwing it away, Linden gets the steal. Now Indiana with Meeks at the point. Cheney. And Jamal back to Anderson. Anderson looks inside to Lawson. Good move. Shot fake and two.
Indiana very much under control there on that half-court offense. Iowa will be running up and down the floor a lot, so Indiana will counter by trying to run some time off that 45-second clock and keep the game under control.
Indiana is really playing out high. Really playing on the ball, Az.
That's going to help guard against that three-point shot.
But Moses gets inside, goes up over Jones for two. James Moses from Carson, California, 6'4" junior. And we're tied at two. Anderson's shot is deep off the back of the rim. Here they come. This is Barnes. Moses. Now Barnes and Moses, a little game on baseline. Turnaround, good defense by Lawson. Into the hands of Jones again. Meeks. Three by Cheney. Oh, yes, he's on.
There's we talked about Jamal Meeks controlling the Indiana offense. It was a delayed fast break. Iowa got back in plenty of time, and Jamal looked for the secondary break, which was Cheney outside for the three-point shot. Excellent job by Jamal.
Earl throws it away. Saved by Cheney. Great baseline save. Cheney lost it off his leg and then recovered. Jones steps up. Jones misses. Barnes with the rebound.
It's a good shot, though. Linden was wide open. Indiana trying to build some early momentum here.
Barnes goes to the glass. Lawson feeds immediately. Meeks up court. Oh, lost by Cheney. No foul. Cheney looked back at Tom Rucker, and no foul.
A.C. Earl was right behind Cheney. I think he feared that block shot. It caused him to miss that shot. Another turnover by Iowa.
Very fast pace to this game, lads. Lawson. He'll go to the line, and the foul is on Val Barnes, his first. Each team with one foul.
The fast pace of the ball game is exactly what Iowa likes to play. They also like to substitute a lot, and they're going to it already. Chris Street, 6'8", 200, is in the ball game. Webb, number 42, Jay Webb, 6'8", he's in the ball game. There's Tom Davis. And number 10, Kevin Smith. So, and also Val Skinner. So Iowa comes with 4 substitutes. And we're not even 3 minutes into the ball game yet. Expect Indiana to counter also with a lot of substitutes because this game should be up and down the floor quite a bit.
Skinner, number 11, is a great three-point shooter. He is 26 of 50 on the season as Lawson hits his first of two. 6'9" sophomore from Bloomington, averaging 67% from the line, and he misses the second. Indiana with a 6-2 lead early going in the game. Intimidation by Anderson, tipped away into the hands of Lawson. Lawson gives it to Meeks. Here comes Jamal. Cheney pulls up for three. No! This is a terrifyingly fast game so far. Street from the side. That's not going to go. And out of bounds to whom? They say Indiana. Yes, Indiana ball.
Cheney was battling for it. Webb came over the top. And I think this is the type of game Tom Davis wants. You see not much pattern offense by Iowa. They take the first shot they can get, and they try to follow with the rebound. Indiana's blocked out well and not giving Iowa that second chance.
Meeks down to Cheney. Cheney steps up and can't get it to fall. He's going to be called for the... No, it's Lawson called for the foul on the follow.
And the natural reaction by Indiana when Iowa's in that up-and-down game, it causes Indiana to do that. Not a bad shot by Cheney. Looked like he flowed a little bit. There you see Lawson trying to come over the back. He gets called for the foul.
Team foul number 2 against the Hoosiers. 6-2 with 16:50 left to play in the first half.
Look how far out Indiana starts their defense. They want to spread this Iowa offense out as far as they can. Look at Lawson coming right outside.
Loose under the basket. Yeah, it goes up for a reverse layup, but it won't fall. And a jump ball. That ball will now go to Iowa on the alternate possession.
That pressure defense outside is good to stop the three-point shot, but it allows the drive to the basket. Cheney came over to help and did force the reverse layup that was missed.
Burl Sell right in front of the Indiana bench calls a turnover. A.C. Earl with too many steps. Now take that back. That's Jay Webb. Webb committing the turnover at the offensive end of the court. Pressure on the inbounds. In it comes to Lawson. Lawson right up the court to Jones. And Jones, fans thought travel, but no call. Meeks to Cheney for three. No. Anderson tipped out of bounds to Iowa. We have a substitution. Davis, Rodell Davis will be coming back in. Also, A.C. Earl is back in.
Iowa has not had the chance to press much. We saw it on the out of bounds the last time, but that's a big part of their game. Coach Knight pondering the start of this ball game. Not a bad start for Indiana. 6-2 lead, 4 minutes into the ball game.
Skinner. Earl. And he travels again. Jay Webb committed it before, now this time Earl.
Well, another turnover for Iowa. The pressure defense that Indiana has worked on hard all year is paying off here as it forced Iowa into another turnover. Greg Graham checks in. Indiana with the substitutes now. Pat Graham is in the lineup. Chris Reynolds is in. And again, this will be commonplace in a ball game. Both coaches will use a lot of players.
Eric Anderson remains in the lineup. Again, the pressure on the baseline into Lawson. Lawson, a one-bounce dribble, comes up to Reynolds. Reynolds to Grimm. Good outside shooter. Anderson underneath, intended for Lawson. Lawson was triple teamed and lost the ball. Skinner feeds baseline. Shot is short. That was by Davis. Indiana once again with the boards. Indiana just giving one shot, lads. You're right.
That's very important because Iowa will capitalize on that if you allow them to. Now Indiana slows it down to 2-3 zone by Iowa. And there should be an opening on the baseline, either one side or the other on the baseline. See Eric Anderson running that baseline now.
19 seconds left on the shot clock. Deep into the well. Knocked away. Anderson's loose on the loose ball. And gets what we used to call garbage shots.
Hey, that's 2 points. Don't call that garbage.
No, sir.
That was Pat Graham kept that ball alive, and Anderson stayed, held his position, and the ball came right to him.
Anderson with 4. Indiana leading 8-2. Street pushes off. No call. Now Skinner. And over to Smith.
Indiana wants to keep that Iowa offense out very high.
Skinner, he's a good three-point shooter. That won't fall. Contact, no foul. Now Reynolds gets it out. Up court, back to Reynolds. Blocked off the glass, goaltending. Give the basket to Chris Reynolds.
The fast break is working for Indiana today.
We have a timeout. The score 10-2 Indiana. We'll be back after these messages.
There was ever a time the future is bright. This is the time. Starting tonight.
Oh, Marjorie.
Come here.
No. Listen, I just wanted to drop off your mom and dad's first retirement check.
Oh, how thoughtful.
I'll give them a call in a day or two, okay?
Thanks.
And the forecast is cloudy and colder, so bundle up.
Aloha.
Huh?
Are these seats taken?
Play the Aloha instant game, and it could be your ticket to Hawaii from the Hoosier Lottery.
So, did you break him, Raj? Break him? I own him. That horse and I are one. We achieved a special kind of oneness. Man and beast. Speaking the same language.
What's that mean? Means they'll be talking again tomorrow.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this broadcast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference is prohibited.
Another good start for Indiana, Chuck, and this is crucial on the road as Indiana's not shot well from the field, only 4 of 11, but they've held Iowa to just 1 of 8 with that pressure defense.
Troy Skinner works it up against Chris Reynolds, and an offensive foul as Skinner runs right into Reynolds, who apparently, according to Burl Sell, had good position.
That's Skinner, the great three-point shooter from the outside. He averaged 37 points a game in high school, the second highest total in Iowa history, but he got caught by Chris Reynolds that time. Another turnover by Iowa.
Inbounds pass. They had Greg Graham wide open earlier, but didn't seem. Inside, and a foul.
Indiana's playing smart ball right now, Chuck. They haven't had time to really run the offense. Iowa's given a lot of secondary break opportunities. Tom Davis is off the bench talking to Burl Sell, the official, on that call, but Winters is going to draw that foul. Anderson at the line.
Anderson, who has had his problems, Laz, and I noticed in the warm-up today in the shoot-around, he was doing a lot of work on his free throw.
Well, Coach Knight mentioned to him that he sometimes brings that ball in front of his forehead when he shoots that free throw. He's got to keep it off to the right, off his shoulder. Right there, you see Coach mentioned it to him. He swings it around, and that causes Eric to miss that free throw, especially short. And they worked with him a little bit today. Coach made a reminder to him of that. Let's see what happens next time he goes to the line.
Tom Davis is just incensed that no foul has been called on the inbounds pass as Chris Reynolds tried to get around A.C. Earl. Winters, as Iowa struggles to try to get back in this game. Shot is up and good. Give that basket to Moses.
Tough shot because Indiana had good pressure. Nothing wrong with that defense.
Indiana breaks the press. In the corner to Anderson. He steps up and pops it through.
Indiana's taking advantage of the opportunities that Iowa's presenting, and it's not taking them long to get into their offense.
A foul. Graham hit the elbow as Moses went to the basket. Moses has 4 points. That's all Iowa has. He scored both the field goals. That foul, again, as I said, is on Graham, his first, and the team's fourth. Moses, a 6'4" junior, hails from Carson, California. Not a bad three-point shooter, 13 of 35. Cheney is back in, replacing Anderson for Indiana. and averages about 3.5 rebounds a game. Second free throw is good. Moses with 5, and Iowa now trails by 8, 13-5. Once again, pressure. Loose ball comes off into the hands of Skinner, who tries to feed underneath. Pulled away by Graham. Up court to Cheney. He'll challenge. Misses the basket. Nover follows and steps on the line.
Again, credit A.C. Earl with the reason that Calbert Cheney missed that layup. It was the second time that Cheney's had a breakaway with Earl behind him. And Earl is a great shot blocker. Calbert had to use the reverse and couldn't get it to go. This crowd wants some action out of Iowa.
Little weave across the top. Barnes goes right in to Chris Reynolds, who comes up with the ball. No basket. Travel. Pat Graham trying to improve his position. Substitutions for Iowa. Smith is back in.
8 turnovers now unofficially for Iowa, but Indiana not able to capitalize that time. Damon Bailey checks in the lineup for the first time.
And Rodell Davis is in for the Hawkeyes. 13-12 left in the first half. It's been a rugged game so far.
4 turnovers for Indiana, but Iowa not able to get on track early with their offense.
A.C. Earl. Oh, what a shot off the glass. Just a beautiful shot. Credit that to James Winters. His first field goal. And a turnover gives the ball right back.
Right in front of the Indiana bench, and Coach Knight is up right in front of Earl Sale. Let's watch this move by Winters. Good defense by Cheney. Also by Nover. Earl's not going to be as effective outside there. Cheney cuts him off the baseline. Nover comes back to help. It's off balance, and he uses the glass. A great individual move.
Count the basket. And a foul.
Now that's what Earl can do when he gets inside with his back to the basket. Nover is behind him. One quick dribble, even with Graham trying to help. Earl gets the shot to go. A big series right now for Iowa. This could be a 5-point play if Earl's able to make the free throw.
The Moline, Illinois sophomore looking for 3. And he's got it. Substitution. Street is back in. Replaces Winters.
Iowa getting a real shot here. It was 13-5 about 20 seconds ago. But 2 quick baskets and a free throw cut into this lead.
Bailey gives it up to Reynolds. Cheney. And throws it away. Knocked out of bounds. It'll be Iowa ball.
That's a 3-2 zone that Iowa uses. Indiana's looking on the baseline, but that was blocked off. Tom Davis a little more confident now as his team sneaks back up to just 3 points behind. 12:27 left in the first half.
Lyndon Jones is back in, replaces Reynolds. Street is looking, finally gets it in.
They'd like to go right to Earl on the out-of-bounds play, and they have.
And he scores. Indiana breaks that pressure, but boy, it is tough pressure.
That just keeps mounting on you. So far, Indiana's handled it well, but nearly lost it there. 7 points in a row now for Iowa.
Jones takes it inside. Offensive foul on Jones.
Iowa would like to clog up that middle and force Indiana to take the outside shot. Lyndon tries to make the drive, and he was called for forcing the contact. They take away the basket, give the ball to Iowa. They now have a chance to take their first lead.
13-12 the score, and we have 12 minutes, 2 seconds left in the first half. Throws it away, but recovered by the Hawkeyes. Barnes. Smith tries to go inside on Jones. Into Earl. Back to Barnes. And he travels. Timeout on the floor. 11:39 left first half. It is 13-12 Indiana. Back after these messages from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Sometimes the best gift you can give costs so little but means so much. The sound of your voice.
Hello?
Happy birthday to you.
I can't come to the phone right now, so please leave a message at the tone.
Happy birthday
To you, happy birthday, dear. Boy, you ever hardly get hold of Shelly. Happy birthday to
Phil, I
you.
just walked in.
Happy birthday to you.
It is the thought that counts, not so long distance. From Indiana Bell.
At INB, we know it's taken you a lifetime to get where you really want to be. That's why we've developed lifetime banking for people 50 and over. It offers all the financial services you want and all the personal attention you deserve. Because when you're where you want to be, you can really start going places. Lifetime banking. Get the feeling at INB.
The feeling of success.
Shopping for a family car? Here's a little quiz. Which one of these cars seats 6 instead of 5? That's right, Chevy Lumina. Next, which was rated most trouble-free car in its class by J.D. Powers and Associates? Right again, Chevy Lumina. One more try. Which of these cars can you buy for under $12,500 right now? You learn fast. Chevy Lumina. Check it out and drive it home from your local Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, nobody beats the heartbeat.
13-12 is the score. 11:39 left in the first period. Indiana had a very commanding lead to start this game, and then has just suddenly seen it whittle away to a one-point advantage, but they do have the ball.
Indiana in a shooting drought right now. They're just 5 of 14 for the game. Iowa's on a 10-3 run and still uses that pressure. Expect to see that all day today by Iowa.
With the ball now, Indiana into the forecourt. Let's see what they can do with it. Jones, Bailey. Jones will let 3 go. Go! Yes! Right there.
Very important for Indiana to make that outside shot. That will force the pressure to come out farther and should make some opening inside.
Bailey with the steal. He drives on Smith, and it won't fall, but he gets the foul. Smith picks up personal number 1 and team foul number 4.
Watch Damon now as he cuts in to make the steal. He dropped off his man to help inside. He quickly gets around Street. Smith has to make the foul. Damon wanted this three-point shot. You see he twisted his body, was turning away from the basket. Made it difficult to make that shot.
Bailey averaging 10 points in Big Ten play, 9.8 on the season. And this is the first, a 72% shooter from the line. As you look at Bob Knight, he certainly has to be concerned about the way Indiana has been shooting free throws. 17-12, back to a 5-point advantage. Skinner attempts to get around Jones, lobs inside to Earl. Earl goes up to the glass, no good. Gets it back, goes up again, no good. Knocked off Indiana and out of bounds. It'll go to Iowa. Boy, they just had second and third efforts, but couldn't corral the ball.
That's the style Iowa will play. Some of those shots, not great percentage shots, but they shoot and hustle right in for the board.
A fall away, doesn't go. Indiana tips it again out of bounds to the Hawks.
And Indiana has slapped it twice now out of bounds. They've got to go up and secure that with 2 hands, and you can see that that's what's on Coach Knight's mind as he watches the third possession now, this time down the floor for Iowa.
And this is what we were fearful of in the pregame when you talked about the keys last.
Too many possessions here, although Indiana's forced now 10 unofficial turnovers for Iowa.
Barnes, high over the head. Bailey backs up a step, now moves it out. This time Lawson goes strong. Here comes Jones.
1-on-3 now. He slows it up.
Bailey? Yes, plenty of room. Bailey, nobody contesting. He hits his first fielder.
A smart play by Jones. He knew he didn't have the break. He stopped. And the secondary break again with Damon on the baseline.
Street. Baseline to Barnes. Gets it back. Moses will fire 3. Moses misses. Barnes gets it back. Save. Here comes Jones on a foul.
Skinner had to because he went for the steal and missed. Jones had a breakaway. That's a good foul by Skinner. Again, Iowa will make 4 substitutions here. Let's watch Skinner. He knew he was the last line of defense. Had to go for the steal because Jones had an easy layup if he did not foul.
That is the 15th foul against the Hawkeyes. We'll pick the substitutions up as they have come in. 42 is Webb. He's back in the lineup. Winters is back in. So is Davis. Here comes Indiana. Up to Anderson. And wisely holds it up to Cheney. Back to Jones.
The foul also gives Iowa a chance to set their press up.
Lawson. Anderson for three. Nope, won't go. Look at Cheney follow. Misses the shot and then gets the second putback.
Good effort. Cheney was the only red shirt underneath and stayed with it till he got the basket.
Smith and Winters. Again, as you pointed out, a very high offense by the Hawkeyes. Now Smith, baseline. That's just short of everything. Out to Jones. Jones attacking right side. And a block.
Well, they wanted a charge here. But again, the ball was on the side there instead of the middle. Watch Lindy. He can't get it into the middle because he doesn't want Anderson to lead the break.
Yep.
He holds it as long as he can and then dumps off to Anderson. Tom Rucker with the call, which is a block against Skinner. Anderson at the line. His third foul now on Skinner, and he's going to come out.
And back in is Val Barnes. Val, a 6'2 sophomore, a junior college transfer from Wichita, Kansas.
Again, a very young Iowa team. Four of their starters did not play last year against Indiana. And this is their first experience to see the Hoosiers. Tom Davis off that bench a lot during the ball game, shouting encouragement to his team.
Anderson's second effort is good. He has 8 points, 1 for 2 this time at the line. And the Hawkeyes are trailing by 10, 22-12 with 8:55 left to play. Webb to Davis. Winters. Davis playing with a heavy playing brace on that left leg. Out to Webb.
Iowa's offense is not nearly as potent this far away from the basket. The pressure by Cheney, and Webb throws the ball out of bounds. It's when Iowa can get up and down the floor and get there before Indiana sets their defense that they can score effectively. Indiana's outscored Iowa 9-0 from that 13-12 lead to gain that 10-point advantage. So Iowa's offense is really being bothered by the Indiana defense.
A.C. Earl is back in the Hawkeye lineup. Bailey and Jones playing with it across the top. Oh, Bailey, as Calbert Cheney had turned back toward the basket, Bailey just changed his mind. And the conversion cost Indiana a basket. Rodell Davis on the conversion for his first field goal. Up to Cheney.
Near steal there by Iowa.
Cheney for three. Nope. Lawson lost his hand. No good. Near steal. Here is the steal by Cheney and a foul.
Boy, Iowa's not happy. Tom Davis quickly off the bench. But Damon Bailey has sparked Indiana here since he's been in the ball game. He knocked that ball away from Earl. Let's watch now. Cheney misses. Lawson nearly comes up with it. Now watch Damon come in. Tries for the charge. He misses it. Sneaks up from behind to get Winters. Cheney's able to come up with it. And the foul goes against Earl. His first. Damon Bailey with good heads-up play.
Calvert's first trip to the line tonight. And the sophomore drops it through. As you see, Tom Davis. Davis's record here, 102-45, 376 and 195 overall in 19 years of coaching. Hits them both. And we have an official's timeout. 8 minutes even remaining. It's Indiana 24-14. Back after these messages.
When you consider everything the mountains have to offer, it's not surprising why anyone would want to work up here. Come to think of it, it's not surprising why they'd want to hang around after work either.
Hey, Roy, I want to try
about this three-way calling I just got? Stay on the line. I'm going to call Leon.
Haven't heard from Leon in years.
Leon, remember Roy?
That deadbeat, he still owes me $20. If I read his obituary, I'm going to track down his next of kin and get my money.
I'll read your obit before you read mine.
Roy?
Three-way calling, one of GTE's smart call services. A great way to get together.
I'm charging you interest.
Amex Coal Industries proudly presents the high-energy play of the game, the outstanding individual play from IU's last televised game.
Against Northwestern, 4 of the 5 Hoosiers got involved in the Amex high-energy play of the game. First, Eric Anderson blocks a wildcat shot. Calvert Chaney saves the ball, and Jamal Meeks grabs it. But it's knocked away to Damon Bailey. Bailey brings the ball up court in traffic, but loses control. Good thing Anderson is there to finish what he started on the other end.
The high-energy play of the game from Amex Coal Industries.
As part of the high-energy play of the game, Amex is making a contribution to the Indiana University Library Fund. 24-14. The Hoosiers by 10 with 8 minutes remaining in this first period of action. It has been hot and furious in here. A lot of contact. A very physical game.
Well, that's always going to be expected because of the style that Iowa plays. It's a tough game for a referee to do because there's so much action. And already you've seen the crowd really get on these officials.
Barnes just flashes right out away from Damon Bailey and hits for the field goal. Barnes' first 2.
That's a strong point of his game, that outside shot.
Jones, Bailey, now Calvert, got to Bailey, steps inside but travels. Costly turnovers for both teams. Really destroying some offensive opportunities, Laz.
It has for Indiana. Damon has got to either take that shot from the outside or keep that pivot foot. Twice now he's forced a turnover there.
Perfect possession by Lawson, and Anderson goes up 2 times before it comes down with the ball, but nonetheless fought for the rebound. Chaney steps up, misses. Here comes Smith. Barnes misses. Jones with the rebound, uses up the dribble, looks for help. There's Bailey.
Barnes had made the shot the last time down the floor, so he's not afraid to pull up from that three-point line. Let's see if Indiana can run some time now against this 3-2 zone and make sure they get a good shot.
Chaney always threatening to take that 3. When he's out there, Laz, does coach want him to shoot that?
Well, and if it's in the flow of the offense.
That shot's not going to go. There's Anderson. Back out to Jones.
Chance to bring it up and set it up again. Again, Chaney passes up on the outside shot.
And a foul as Lawson tries to penetrate inside.
Again, we've talked about this a lot, Chuck, and the fact that if a team that you're playing against likes to get up and down the floor a lot, what you try to do offensively is make them play defense. Turn it into a half-court ball game and wait for the defense to make a mistake. A.C. Earl picks up his second. As Anderson got that rebound, instead of going right back up with it, what he decides to do is come back up, let Indiana set the offense. They work the ball inside to Lawson, and he draws the foul.
Pat Graham for Calvert Chaney for Indiana as you look at the redhead. Sort of forced that one up, Laz.
Looks like it came off his hand a little funny there. It shot off to the right. Good camera angle here to watch the flight of the ball.
Misses this one. Anderson tries to get a hand on it and fails. Here's Skinner. Feed up the Street. Anderson tries to go behind, but Street has an easy 2 as Indiana's defense broke down. 24-18, down to a 6-point Hoosier lead. Indiana's scoring has been streaky. Pat Graham. Bailey. Behind a screen by Lawson. It doesn't go. And a foul. And Lawson's over the shoulder, going for a ball that he couldn't have reached.
Yeah, that foul that was called from way on the other side of the floor. Good block out by Iowa. And that's going to send Iowa to the free throw line. Anderson's wide open. Now watch at the left of your screen. Good block out by Iowa. Rodell Davis is only 6'3". Lawson had to reach over him, picked up his second foul.
A.C. Earl, a 67% shooter, hit his only other attempt from the line tonight. The foul to follow a 3-point play. And he hits this one, the first of a 1-1. Here's Jamal Meeks back in. Replaces Linden, who has played a very good first half so far. And we're going to have another substitution. It's going to be for the shooter, A.C. Earl. Earl continues to improve on his season's shooting percentage from the stripe. 2 for 2, and now adds this one down on the well and back out. So he's 2 for 3 and right at his average. Pat Graham to Meeks. Bailey, short lineup for Indiana, Les.
You've got to use that lineup to control the ball. Iowa's on a 5-0 run right now. Indiana needs a good shot.
Reversal. Anderson steps out and gets it to rattle and drop.
Well, it faded away a little bit on that shot, but it was about a 10-footer. And Indiana gets back up to that 7-point lead.
Turnaround by Davis right in front of the basket. Well, I'll tell you, Rodell Davis he went right up through traffic that time. There were 3 on him. Here comes Meeks. Works it up. Anderson, but he travels. Wow, that must have been 4 steps.
Yeah, right in front of Tom Rucker. He called it right away. Iowa's going to bring 2 more subs in. A.C. Earl's out of the ball game.
A.C. is out. Number 43, Brig Tubbs, a 6'9 junior from DeWitt, Iowa, replaces him. Calvert Cheney is back in. Coach is now playing a real sight game off the bench.
Well, 11 turnovers have been a real problem for Indiana in the first half, a lot more than they normally have in one half. Both teams well below their scoring average, too. Indiana's averaging 87 a game. Iowa scoring 80 points per game.
Barnes is lighting it up. A steal. It won't go, but a foul. And that's going to put Iowa back on the line.
That's where Iowa can be deadly. If they're allowed to score 2 points, obviously that increases their score, but it also gives them a chance to use their best defense, which is the full court press. The pass comes in off the Indiana hand. Iowa quickly capitalizes and gets to go to the line.
Greg Graham for Pat Graham. Smith is back in for Skinner for the Hawks. James Moses will be shooting 2, and he's right on target for the first. His mother?
Yes, that's his mother. In fact, it's her birthday. He brought over some flowers for her just before the game started, and she was quite surprised. Great sign of affection there by that young man.
Graham, Cheney, Meeks, Bailey, inside, and a foul. That will put Greg Graham to the line, and Tom Davis is incensed again. But this time, I think it's against the player rather than the call.
That was Meeks from the outside. He got the ball in where it had to go. Graham, they would have counted that basket had it dropped for Graham. He'll get 2 shots at the line. A lot lower scoring game than we had anticipated, but a lot more turnovers also. The big reason for that.
Greg Graham's first point.
And the tide has turned so many times. Indiana jumps a 10-2 lead. Iowa comes right back. Then it was 24-14 Indiana. And now it's back to a 3-point lead. So Iowa cut it to 1 before Graham made those 2 free throws. Then invert horn right there. Play continues.
Smith to Barnes. And good body fake that time. Barnes puts it up, draws the foul on Bailey. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Damon commits his first foul. Now they'll have a substitution. This time it'll be for Barnes. Player to come in, I believe, is Bartles. Jim Bartles, a 6'5 freshman. We'll pick him up later. Junior college transfer. Puts the second one up and down in and out. But loose ball picked up on the line by Street.
Indiana missed a block out there from the outside position. And Iowa right back in the ball game now. And they have a chance to set the press up.
Indiana will have the run of the baseline. Greg Graham to toss it in. It comes right in, trapped right in the corner. He splits the defense. Out comes Meeks, and a foul as he drives up court, and that's on Smith. And that's his second.
Again, a smart foul by Smith. He realized that there was only one defender back besides him. Indiana had a 4-on-1. If Jamal gets around him, Smith reaches and commits the foul, makes Indiana earn their points at the foul line.
Meeks, who, along with the rest of the Hoosiers, has had his problem with the stripe this year. Indiana, however, as a team, is shooting 73% on the season. Now, that's not really out of the ordinary, but 3 or 4 points on season shooting is much better. So a 76 or 77 is much better than just the 3 percentage points that appear.
Here you see Bartles leave. Barnes is only out about 30 seconds. Catches breath to come right back in. He's in there for offense.
Second is up by Jamal, and he cans both of them. Indiana has a 30-28 lead with 4.5 minutes left to play. 4:20. Showing on the clock in the little box in the corner. A.C. Earl. And out of bounds to Indiana on a bad pass.
Now that's what Indiana wants. Earl outside, throwing the ball inside, because he really should be the guy inside for Iowa.
Here comes Meeks again, splitting the trap. Up it comes to Cheney. A little bit behind him where he might have driven last.
I think you're right, Chuck. Again, a slower pace is what Indiana needs right now. 4 minutes left here in the half.
Flashed right into the middle, but the timing was a little off, and Meeks couldn't find him. Speaking of Cheney.
Graham job against the zone. They'll run that baseline to try to get the shot.
Graham, no shot. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Just sold that, or telegraphed that pass. Indiana with the ball. Up it comes. And a slam dunk by Calvert Cheney.
What a play by Cheney. Didn't need to dribble and just jumped right over Smith for that slam. That crowd is not happy. They thought that should have been a travel. But Indiana increases the lead to 4.
32-28, 3:15 left in the first half of play. Barnes with a fall away.
He's got the hot hand right now. He'll be tough to stop. Indiana has to stay up on him all the time.
Cheney. Oh, Graham goes to the basket hard. That ball could have rolled down in just as easily as it rolled across, but we have a foul.
James Winters is not happy with that call. Really threaded the needle on that pass by Calvert Cheney. The bounce pass, again, more difficult to steal than the regular chest pass. And Graham went very high to avoid the block that time. Just missed the layup.
That is number 2 on Winters. Skinner's the only Iowa player in any real foul trouble. He has 3. Substitution. It'll be Lyndon Jones for Damon Bailey, I believe.
These teams are very similar in the fact that they use a lot of players. Both coaches will go 9 or 10 deep, and they allow their teams to use that athletic ability. A lot of one-on-one play. Indiana, if they have the drive, will take it.
And we have a timeout. 2:59 left to play. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
At INB, we have money to lend for big dreams and little additions. Cars, new and used. New businesses, mergers and acquisitions. Bricks and mortarboards. Having the money you need to do the things you want is a great feeling. And you can get it at INB.
The feeling of success.
As a nurse, you know that a little bit of you goes home with each patient. So do we. As a laboratory professional, you know you're technically superior. So do we. As a nurse, you know you deserve top benefits. So do we. As an allied health professional, you know the system can't work without you. So do we. And as a nurse, you know you're worth a bundle. So do we. Call St. Vincent Hospital, where care doesn't stop with the patients.
In central Indiana, there's some truck stops you just can't miss. Don't miss Rosie's up north of town. Don't miss Ed's out on the interstate. And whatever you do, don't miss the best truck stop in the area, your local Chevy dealers. Right now, they're serving up hot, full-size Chevy pickups with savings up to $26.26. And the house special has 10 pickups with savings up to $37.22. You'll save big at the best truck stop in the area, your local Chevy dealers. In Central Indiana, we drive Chevy.
All right, let's take a look at the action again as we can pick this up. There was the trigger pass by Jamal Meeks. That just sort of, it sold itself even before it was released, Les.
Well, watch the pressure here, Bailey and Graham. Damon does a good job avoiding the travel by flipping it right to Graham. And here's the lead pass, 1, 2, 3. That probably should have been a travel.
All right, it's 34-30. Indiana by 4. A.C. Earl down on the line. No basket. Out of bounds to Indiana. Good block of the ball, but they say he carried it down. Davis did on the drive.
Well, the ball never left his hand, so I think it might have been traveling there.
And a travel coming back the other way. Sync of both teams just seems to be a half or a fraction off.
Well, that's correct. This is, again, the game that Iowa wants to play. Coach Knight off the bench for Indiana.
Indiana still by 4. 2:31 left, first half of play. Barnes and a bump and a foul. That'll go against Jamal Meeks, his second.
Well, Barnes knows he's now in his rhythm for that jump shot. He's going to want to get his hands on the ball whenever he can. Jamal's got to play tight up on him, but in the process, he caused that bump and drew his second foul. That brings Chris Reynolds off the bench. He comes in for Jamal and may have the job of trying to guard Skinner. Or Val Barnes, number 20.
Well, Barnes will be coming out after these free throws. Hits the first. Averages 12.5 a game and has 8 already. And the second is good. So he has 9, and Bartles is back in, replacing the Wichita Kansas sophomore. Up to Graham. Cheney. Oh boy. Now everything was in sync that time.
3-on-2 fast break. Indiana had the numbers. Graham stops the ball at the free throw line, leaves Cheney open for a 10-footer.
Street with Cheney all over him. Good pressure by Jones on the help. And up to the glass. Good effort by Rodell Davis.
Well, Davis only 6'3", but he posted up well there to get that basket out of bounds to Indiana.
More substitution. How long can this pace last?
Now, this is going to last the whole ball game. This is exactly what Iowa does, and that's why they substitute so often. Look at this. Good shot fake. Gets Indiana off its feet, and then Davis takes the quick dribble and goes inside.
36-34. Indiana with the lead and the ball. To Anderson. Back out to Reynolds. Jones. Penetration knocked out of his hands. Here they come. The fall away won't go. Tip up. No good. Tipped again. Tipped again. And out of bounds. It'll be Iowa ball. Yes.
That's A.C. Earl. He just keeps that ball alive. And Indiana not able to grab it again. Out of bounds to Iowa.
And let's see whether the Hawkeyes can tie it here. Smith works on Reynolds.
Could be a 5-second call right here. Nope. See how he backed up. Bill Bova had the count, but as Iowa player backed up, that's Smith, he stopped that call.
Gets it back to Barnes for 3. Oh!
Well, a whistle stopped the action there. Merle Sell is going to call Chris Street for coming over the out-of-bounds line on his defensive pressure. So that steal by Iowa. It will not count. And Indiana will get the ball back. Just 1-11. Iowa's got their first lead of the ball game now, 37-36. The pressure by Iowa is constantly there, and even though you handle it 2 or 3 times in a row, maybe that next time is the time that it can hurt you, and that's what happened to Indiana here. They've gotten 2 big leads and not been able to hold it because of this pressure by Iowa.
Winters in the Hawkeye lineup, and Winters gets it into Smith with 1:07 left to play in the first half. Iowa leading by 1. Jump ball to Indiana.
Great defense by the Cards. That was Reynolds and Graham on the outside. Bothered Iowa enough to draw the jump ball, and the possession arrow goes to Indiana. Big turnover right there with just under a minute to go in the half.
A.C. Earl's out of the lineup. A.C. was protesting to Tom Rucker. Now Tom Davis is talking to Rucker. Over it comes to Cheney. Indiana's just having to search for the open man against that press.
It's hard to run the offense that Indiana wants to because of the wild pattern defensively that Iowa uses.
Inside to Anderson. Turn around. No, it's not going to go. And the whistle. And a technical foul against the Iowa bench.
Now, they came right off that bench, the whole coaching staff, on that rebound right in front of Rosell. He's talking to Tom Rucker right now. And that is a very big call to end this half. Only 40 seconds to go, and Indiana's going to get some free throws. Hold it. Yeah, Indiana's going to get some free throws and the ball back.
It'll be Calvert Cheney to shoot the shots.
Val Barnes, or James Moses trying to get a conversation with Burrell-Sell, but Cheney will be at the line now for 2 free throws.
Cheney once again in double figures.
I was trying to find out who on the bench is going to draw that technical, and that's what James Moses was trying to find out. Burrell-Sell has not given an indication yet, and there you see the look by Tom Davis. He wants to know which one of his coaching staff got that. Burrell-Sell's not saying anything right now. A big turnaround here. Iowa had the ball. They lose possession of the ball. They give Indiana 2 free throws. Indiana takes the lead again. The shot clock is off, so Indiana can work now for the last shot of the half. A big turnaround here at the end of the half.
Indiana leading by 1, 38-37. This marks the 30th consecutive game over 2 years that Calvert Cheney has been in double figures. He has 13.
And Indiana's doing just that, Chuck, by letting that clock run down and then try to get that shot just under 5 seconds to increase that lead.
15 seconds remaining. Now they go into some offense. Cheney, Anderson gets it up off the glass for 2. 2 seconds, 1 second. It will count, and it goes! Amazing! How many times this year have we seen that? That's the end of the first half. With the score, Indiana 40, Iowa 40.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by Bank One, by the Indiana Heart Institute at St. Vincent's Hospital, and by your local Chevy dealer in Central Indiana. We drive Chevy.
Well, what do you foresee, Mr. Laskowski?
Well, I'll tell you, if we see a second half like that first half, you've got to stay here till the end of the ball game. We had talked about Indiana having the real advantage, the technical, the chance for the last shot to take a 5-point lead, and all of a sudden, Indiana misses the shot. Iowa comes down, hits the buzzer shot, and gets big momentum going into the locker with a tie ball game. Indiana had 16 turnovers in that first half, and that's how many they averaged for an entire ball game in their first 16 games.
There's a lot of intimidation that's going on the court right now. A little bumping here and there. James Moses bumping into Meeks. Shoved by Earl into Lawson just a moment ago. But it's going on both ways. I'm not picking on one or the other. Here's Barnes. Oh, near steal. Cheney, if he could have seen that ball a little sooner, might have had that. Earl takes it down inside, gets it to fall, and they count the basket. Let's take a look at the Wisconsin, the Bud scoreboard. This is just a 69-68, an overtime victory. Michigan over Wisconsin. Minnesota loses to Michigan State. And at halftime, Ohio State with a 3-point lead over the Illini.
Earl makes a move there, a little awkward as he takes that high dribble and big steps, but Anderson draws the foul, only his first, so he's avoided that foul trouble from the last game.
Earl with his 8th and 9th points. Indiana now has to mount an attack, trailing by 3, 43-40. Lawson from outside cans it.
A good shot, about 16 feet straight away. Lawson showing good confidence there.
Barnes up on Reynolds. AC with that soft hook.
Again, he's a little slow on that move, but he's up so high in the air with that hook shot, it's not going to be blocked.
The travel.
And the turnovers will be the factor here in the second half. That's 17 now for Indiana. You can see the disgust on Coach Knight's face there. That is the one thing that will bury Indiana, is another 16 turnovers in the half.
Fans wanted Earl to shoot from out there. Davis looking, trying to find somebody inside. There's a little give and go. Lawson comes out with the ball. One dribbles it to Reynolds. Feed. Cheney goes back up and gets it under control somehow.
Now that was almost a 17th turnover, and Cheney turns it into 2 points, falling away with a bank shot.
Indiana really playing tight defense. Here's the steal. Here comes Reynolds, and he'll just solo right past A.C. Earl. Earl made no effort to go after it.
A smart play by Reynolds. He didn't have to give the ball up. He knew one crossover dribble would get him around Earl. Indiana's got to be able to set up this half-court defense. It'll really stop Iowa from scoring.
Up and in on a good reverse layup by Rodell Davis.
And just as I say that, Iowa scores in a half-court game.
And a foul as Cheney attacks from the right side. That is going to be on Rodell Davis and will be number 1 on Davis as Smith checks back in, replacing Rodell.
I tell you, both teams look tired already. We're not even 3 minutes into this second half. You can see all the players with their hands on their hips. Both teams now affected by this continuous up and down the floor action.
Bounces in right off the hands, but out of bounds to Iowa, right.
Came off of, they call that off of Anderson. So another turnover as Iowa turns that pressure into a turnover. Damon Bailey checks in for Pat Graham.
47-46. Iowa with a 1-point lead. Smith comes up on Bailey. They drop it inside to Earl. And Earl will go right back to the line as he took it right into Anderson, who has picked up his second foul.
In the first half, Earl was getting the ball way outside and not as effective. And now look at Iowa looking for him inside. Anderson had his hands up, and Earl caused that contact, but that foul is usually going to go against the defense, and that's what happened here.
AC now has 12 points. He averages 17 and a half as you look at Tom Davis, who is 3 and 5 against Indiana. And the second is not going to go. And they're going to stay here. Another foul against Indiana.
Barnes got knocked down to the floor, and Phil Bova's going to make that call on Anderson. So now he's got his third. He's picked those up very quickly here, just as we talked about not being in foul trouble. Watch now. See, Barnes gets right around Anderson, and with his left hand, Eric pulls him down by the shoulder, and it was called.
Now Anderson pulls this one away. Up it comes to Reynolds. Cheney from the side. Yes.
Number 40, Cheney.
Tied at 48. Steal by Lawson. Back to Bailey. Let's see what Indiana can do with it this time. Bailey to Reynolds. Inside to Lawson for 2.
Boy, Reynolds twice now on some good passes. First to Cheney and now to Lawson. Indiana jumps back into a 2-point lead.
This is a frantic pace of this game. Another steal by Reynolds.
Boy, the turnovers are just mounting by both teams. 17 now for Iowa.
Cheney for 3, and it's an entirely different game.
The tempo can change in a minute's time. It looked like Iowa came out right from the half. They jumped off to a 3-point lead. Now Indiana's got it. And what an effort there by Reynolds as he goes over the Iowa bench into the third row. And he gets some assistance there from one of the Iowa fans.
Bob Knight said the other day in practice that Chris Reynolds, if he continues to improve, could probably become the best defensive ball player that he has ever coached.
Both teams with 18 turnovers, and Reynolds has such great quickness, Chuck. That's true. He's using his hands very smartly, and he's got a tough defensive assignment on Barnes.
Indiana ball on the pass.
And credit that to Reynolds. He came off of Barnes that time to help. The pass tried to go down to Barnes. It went out of bounds. 19 turnovers for Iowa.
Indiana driving. Up, misses the shot. A.C. Earl falls to the floor. We have a jump ball. Yes, jump ball.
Indiana wanted goaltending that time as Damon drove the baseline. The possession arrow will stay with Indiana, but the Indiana bench still on their feet. Thought that ball was on the downward flight when Earl blocked it again. He leads the conference in blocks, and Coach Knight is talking to Tom Rucker about it.
Now, Indiana, let's watch what they do. Ron Felling pulled Bob Knight back to the bench. Indiana can ill afford a technical foul here. Indiana leading by 5, 53-48. Patience is important, but how are you patient against this type of harassing defense?
Well, you've got to hold the ball without the turnover and hope they make a mistake on defense, and there it was. Nobody came out to guard Anderson for that 10-footer, and Indiana's taking advantage of it now with a 7-point lead.
Skinner, who's a 3-point shooter, gives it up, gets it back.
But 7-point leads are nothing against a team like Iowa, who can score so quickly and then press.
Oh, what a great save by Cheney. Into Reynolds, and a kick, and it'll be Indiana ball.
The pressure, Iowa missed that shot, but again was able to pressure. Nearly comes up with a steal, still out of bounds to Indiana, but again, they get to set that press up.
Timeout.
We say that timeout as a relief.
55-48 Indiana. We'll be back after these messages.
Hi, Chris Berman here. Bud Bowl 3 is coming January 27th, and you could win $100,000. That's right, $100,000. Just write down the final score on your official scorecard and send it back. Pick up scorecards and team stickers where you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, and Bud Dry Draft Beer. You might even win an official Bud Bowl 3 Wilson football. Don't pass up your chance to win $100,000. Bud Bowl 3, January 27th.
Nice pass, Chris. You take me back to that feeling.
No matter what you drive, you'll get unbeatable performance with quality Champion spark plugs. Champion gets your engine started right away and running its best year-round. So for sure starts and protection, be sure to go with Champion spark plugs. Champion, the #1 choice in spark plugs today.
And CarQuest keeps us rolling down the road.
The Big Three picked the Big Three.
Coca-Cola Classic, Diet Coke,
And Sprite. You can too when you play the Big Three game.
Look under Big Three caps on 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola products and win instant prizes.
Like a Nissan 300ZX in your favorite coach's color.
Or a free trip on U.S. Air to Florida or California, or McDonald's cheeseburgers, Egg McMuffins, 6-piece McNuggets, and free Coke.
You could pick a red 300ZX.
Or a shiny black one.
Nah, they want a blue one like mine.
Calvert Cheney has 20 points, marking the 10th time this season that he has gone over or equaled the 20-point mark. Indiana will have the ball, leading 55-48.
Anderson wide open for that jump shot.
And a bump, and again the pressure as Rodell Davis gets the field goal. More pressure. Now into Bailey. Right over his back, Phil Bovo makes no call at all. And Bob Knight's up off the bench again. Cheney behind a screen by Anderson. 2 more.
I tell you, he's got 22 now, and he's been a great offensive threat for Indiana. Near steal by Damon.
Skinner. I think he's shot 1 from outside. Offensive foul on A.C. Earl.
Well, Damon Bailey is coming off a Skinner to help inside, and he got banged on the head with an elbow. Damon still on the floor. Watch now as Damon comes back into the action. He sneaks up on Earl, and boom, looks like he caught it. They knocked heads is what happened, and Damon is down, still on his back. Tim Garl, the trainer, out there to take a look as Earl draws his 3rd foul. Damon's nodding his head as Tim asked if he's okay. He might have got hit in the mouth as he looked like he grabbed some teeth there out on the floor. I think there's still all in his mouth, but seems to be all right now. Just stunned him a little, I think, with the size of Earl. Looks like Damon's going to come out, but looks all right under his own power.
James Moses offered him the hand of assistance up off the floor as hotly contested as this game is. It would be very easy for tempers to get out of control, and that's just a fine example of the sportsmanship on both sides.
That's correct. 7-point lead now for Indiana, but we've seen twice already Iowa come back and tie the ball game and take the lead. In fact, after this lead, this is not a big lead against a team like Iowa.
Lyndon Jones back in. Reynolds. There he is, but not in position to shoot. Starts the pass over to Jones. Jones already has 1 3-point shot. Inside, up to Lawson. He gets the bounce of the ball.
Great offense. Shot clock was down to 15. Lawson gets a good roll there, a 9-point Indiana lead.
Now it's important for Indiana to do everything in its power to maintain this kind of an advantage. And you have to remember that Iowa is so explosive they can get back into it almost at a moment's notice.
But you can see how long it takes them to develop a shot when Indiana can use that pressure half-court defense. Cheney tried to reach there for the steal, got called for the foul. That's Indiana's 4th team foul, so still out of bounds. 14:07 left in the half, in the ballgame.
59-50. If you just joined us, it was 40-40 at halftime after a 3-point shot at the buzzer by Kevin Smith tied the game to send both teams into the locker room. Inside to A.C. Earl. He is tripled. Tries to get that ball. And out of position this time again. Lawson, I believe. Yes. Call for personal foul number 3.
James Winters had good inside position. Lawson had to come over the back. Let's watch. Here's Earl. Good defense. He had to take a wild shot. Winters just snuck right in there. Lawson with the foul.
Lobbed into Earl. Right back up and good by Winters. Lawson. Calvert. And he draws the foul. Winters picks up his 3rd.
Well, Indiana keeps attacking as they break the press. Lawson dishes off well. Calvert's got to move the ball around to avoid the block, but does draw the foul. Here's the out-of-bounds play. Watch into Earl, and then they go right back into the man out of bounds because nobody's guarding him.
Cheney, sophomore sensation out of Evansville, Harrison, sends the 2nd up and through the next 2. He has 24 points, averaging 21 And 19.7. 3 from outside.
Val Barnes, he got hot in the first half, and that 3 draws the lead down to 6, but a quick foul as Barnes tries to make the steal.
On Barnes, that's personal number 2. And the 4th team foul.
The only relief we get, Chuck, is when there is a whistle and a stop and play. The game is tense because the style of ball that Iowa plays, they can make a steal or a score so quickly, you're always on the edge of your seat.
Linden backs it out, will not challenge A.C. Earl. Linden lets 3 go. Yes! Look at this.
Cheney nearly took that 3, but Linden again from the outside erases the 3 that Barnes made at the other end.
64-55 Indiana. Winters. Moses to Barnes. He'll let 3 fly. It doesn't go. And Lawson loses the ball. Knocked out of his hands. Saved by the quick and very elusive Chris Reynolds. He is so fast, Ross.
This is the type of ball game he can use that skill too very effectively because Iowa has some quick players outside.
2 right on the line. Only 2.
2 jumpers in a row by Linden, and Indiana builds their lead to 12. Let's see if they can. That was a 2-point shot, and now a timeout.
67-55. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Who comes to mind when you think of a strong, innovative bank serving over 5 million customers here and across the country?
Shopping for a family car? Here's a little quiz. Which one of these cars seats 6 instead of 5? That's right, Chevy Lumina. Next, which was rated most trouble-free car in its class by J.D. Powers and Associates? Right again, Chevy Lumina. One more try. Which of these cars can you buy for under $12,500 right now? You learn fast. Chevy Lumina. Check it out and drive it home from your local Chevy dealer. In Central Indiana, nobody beats the heartbeat.
These tools of the trade in the hands of Indiana Heart Institute physicians at St. Vincent Hospital have helped the lives of thousands. Our cardiologists are among world leaders in successful alternatives to open heart surgery. But if it's needed, you'll have the reassurance of being treated by Indiana's leading cardiac surgeons. Choose the physicians who are the masters of the tools of the trade. The Indiana Heart Institute at St. Vincent Hospital.
There's the score, 66-55. They gave Lyndon Jones only a 2. The scoreboard had originally put 3 on the board for Lyndon, but they took 1 point off. 66-55. Jones has 8. Calvert Cheney with 24. I would say, really, Lyndon Jones has been an exceptional factor in the last 2 or 3 games for Indiana. And a travel. Burl Sell says, gives the ball back to Indiana.
The turnovers have really hurt both teams, but especially Iowa when they've been in their half-court offense. What a play by Linden. He fell down, still kept his dribble, and got the ball away to Reynolds.
Indiana tries to set it up again. They have the lead. Calvert right in front of the basket, and he's found his rhythm. Up to Skinner. Well out of position. Fans wanted him to shoot. Just no way he could have put that one up. Anderson comes out with the ball. Eric has very acute eyes to the ball off the rebound. Calvert gets it to go again, and the fans give an ooh on that one.
Great run here by Indiana. Offensively, they're getting the shots to drop. Defensively, they're allowing Iowa 1 shot, a miss, and getting the rebound.
Skinner for 3. Nope. Tipped up. Anderson. Indiana's playing tenaciously on the board.
As good as 2 minutes as we've seen, Chuck. Indiana has made all of their last 4 shots. Let's make it 5.
Nope, not going to go. Saved on the line. And they throw it away.
Good defense. Reynolds tipped that ball so that Davis couldn't come up with it right away. Excellent defense. Iowa seems to have lost some of their enthusiasm now. Chuck, the crowd is quiet. Indiana's built a 15-point lead, and a lot of substituting still by both teams.
AC is back in. Damon Bailey's back in, replacing Lyndon Jones. Should get a fine congratulations from the IU bench. There it is. Pat on the back by Bob Knight, and Norm Ellenberger is up also. Indiana, up it comes. Back over to Bailey. Now Chris Reynolds. Reynolds and Bailey in the backcourt. It's Anderson, Lawson, and Cheney handling now. Back out. 2-3 zone. Indiana's looked virtually the zone all night.
Man-to-man this time.
Was it man?
Yes.
Oh, nice bump there. Looked like a zone, though.
They want to do that. They don't want you to know what defense they're in. They came in a man-to-man that time. And out of bounds to Iowa. This is a crucial part of the ball game. Indiana has snuck away to a 17-point lead. And now the style of ball could change. Indiana could run that shot clock down and not give Iowa nearly the possessions they expected here in the second half.
Earl over the back, commits the foul. No, out of bounds.
Out of bounds, yes.
Pat Graham back in for Calvert Cheney, who will take a breather.
And this has all happened in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Indiana has finally put it all together, but now another steal.
And right back. Here it comes. This is the man you want handling, bringing it up. Reynolds. Bailey down to Anderson. And Anderson commits the foul. Knocked out of his hand and a little bit too aggressive in going after it. His 4th foul.
Iowa just keeps going at that same speed, which is full ahead. 4th foul now on Anderson. Watch Eric. He's trying to dribble. Can't quite get the hang of it, and there's help to help cause that turnover. Eric comes out. Eric Nover in the ball game.
Nover is playing with no points, 2 fouls. As the Hawks bring it up. And a bump on Bailey will cost him personal foul number 2. 72-55 is the score. 10-16. More importantly, however, the clock does not continue to run enough for Indiana. We're not working time off the clock, and Smith goes to the line for an opportunity to score some dead ball shots.
We'll credit Iowa with that, Chuck, because they'll continue this same mad racehouse pace of basketball, racehorse pace.
And Nover turns it over.
And it will continue to cause turnovers if Indiana does not take care of the ball. Nover is not the guy to receive the ball at the 10-second line. So that mistake really should go against the passer. That was Damon that time.
Won't go. AC Earl back up. It will not go, but he goes to the line on the foul, and that's on Bailey, number 3.
Number 22.
Iowa is still a long way from getting Indiana to the line for 1 and 1. They've committed only 4. But this only 16 seconds, incidentally, has ticked off the clock since the last time I commented about no time running off the clock. As Earl hits for his 13th point. See Tom Davis talking to Skinner.
Skinner will be in there for some 3-point shooting. Earl doing a good job from the free throw line tonight. And again, he is a big-time player. And Skinner checks in for Smith.
72-57. Indiana by 15. Nover to bring it in. Reynolds. Lawson for 2. Lawson calm and cool for his 9th point.
Indiana did not slow it down that time. They had the 3-on-2, and Lawson makes the 8-footer from the baseline.
Skinner's calling out the play. Steal. Here's Indiana, 2-on-1 break. Won't go, but a foul on Skinner. And now a few words between the two.
They fell into the standard there, and both got up face to face. Referees quickly stepped in, and Reynolds will be at the line for 2. Let's watch now. Damon deflects the ball. Reynolds picks it up. He thinks he can get all the way on Skinner. 2 big steps. And Skinner obviously drawing the foul there. Now see what happened is Reynolds' hand came down and really pushed Skinner right into the standard there.
For Indiana, shooting 2.
4 fouls.
Yeah, that's 4. You're right. 4 on Skinner. Chris's first trip to the line. Sophomore from Peoria Central. 78% from the line during Big Ten competition. He's improved a little bit over his season average of 76. Skinner is out.
And he comes right
Smith
out again.
Back in.
Indiana with both Anderson and Cheney on the bench. We saw this in the second half Monday when the rest of the team was able to hold on. And here a good rebound by Chris Lawson gives Indiana another possession.
No. Here comes the break. Moses pulls up for 3. No. Lawson. Indiana ball.
Great pressure by Iowa. Lawson fought very hard, but couldn't get the ball up to a guard. Out of bounds to Indiana.
Lawson comes out. Cheney back in.
Great effort by Indiana today. They're not used to this style of constant pressure. They've had a lot more turnovers than they normally do, but they're still hanging tough.
Travel. 2 officials, Burl Sell and Tom Rucker, make that call simultaneously.
Rodell Davis for James Mosley.
So sensitive. Here's Lyndon Jones back in again. So sensitive in a high-paced, high-tempo game that heel can come up off the floor so quickly, Laz. I guess the adrenaline just goes faster than the body.
You know guys are going to be coming at you from every which way, and so you're trying to find them all the corner of your eye, and sometimes you'll move that foot.
Stripped away by Indiana. Here's Jones. No foul.
So even for the guards, it's hard to take possession and quickly get it out. Iowa keeps slapping at the ball.
Jones for 3. No, won't go. Bailey pulls it out. Iowa, yeah, I think you're right, Les. I think Iowa is tired. Calbert Cheney, soft from about 7 feet.
They don't seem to have that spark that could bring them back now as Indiana draws out to a 20-point lead.
Davis. Cheney. And a foul. I believe that is, let's check to see. It's either on Davis or on Street. They
That's
call it
going
on
to be
Davis.
Street. Watch, you can see the players just walking slowly to the other end of the floor, trying to get as much rest as they can, really, on both teams. But the fire that Iowa had seems to have been gone.
The foul was on Davis. They started to walk the other way with the ball. Season high tie for Calbert Cheney, 30 points. He's had it 2 times before. Here comes Indiana. Cheney loses it. Just flat loses it on the way up.
He was going to take the shot, then changed his mind. Ball slipped out of his hand.
That's 3. That's short. And it goes right through the hands of Matt Nover, and an easy 2.
Well, missed everything, and Nover wasn't quite ready for it. Iowa gets the quick basket.
Up to Reynolds, to Jones. We have 7:44 left to play. 77-59 Indiana by 18. Bailey. The clock is so important now. Underneath is Reynolds. He puts the double pump and gets it to fall.
Boy, that bounced on the rim 3 times before it dropped. but good patience by Indiana on offense.
Smith with a fall away. That's not going to go. And this time, Nover grabs that ball like a vice. Bailey.
Good job by Jones. No need to take that quick shot now.
There's a cutting Damon Bailey from Lyndon Jones.
See what that did? Lyndon brings it out. It gives Damon a chance to cut the middle and get the nice layup, and it ran some time off the clock.
81-59. Bartles. There's a little give and go. And on the line, and there's the hustle again of Chris Reynolds. Timeout. 6:46 remaining. Indiana 81-59. Back after these messages.
Farming has always been a hands-on kind of business, but the makers of Counter have changed that. Introducing new Counter Lock and Load, the outstanding performance of Counter in convenient returnable containers. When locked onto specially fitted John Deere MaxEmerge hopper boxes, each sealed container opens automatically. Just lock it on and it loads. Protect your crop, yourself, and the environment. New Counter Lock and Load.
Since the beginning of time, most people have believed that an accountant's most important skill is the ability to count.
So, what do you think? This is great. Let's think this thing through. See if we can make the numbers work.
At London Witty & Company, we believe an accountant's most important skill is the ability to think. London Witty & Company. It's our thinking that counts.
This is never gonna work. Hey, relax. Anybody can send them roses.
Excuse me, we didn't order these. Ian, what's this?
Hi.
Did they really expect us to call them?
I'm telling you. Hello.
81-59. Pardon me. 40-40 at halftime. Indiana with 2 leads in the first half. Sizable leads. What's been the difference here, last?
Shooting percentage. Indiana is 16 out of 20 from the field in the second half. They've only missed 4 shots.
Iowa with the ball. They pump it back out to Skinner for 3. That's not going to fall. Jones pulls away a big board, and he's fouled by James Moses.
This Iowa's one of the best teams we've seen, Chuck, of harassing the ball after the rebound, and a quick technical called by Tommy Rucker as Tom Davis was off the bench on about that call, and he got hit with a quick tee.
I think the foul was, yes, the foul was on Moses, not on the bench.
Now the technical foul came against the bench as Tom Davis questioned the call.
Okay, well, if that's against the bench, then...
Now that's the second technical.
Yeah. And how come Davis is still here?
Might have been on one of the players as opposed to Davis.
All right, that's what I thought. I thought the team might have been on Moses as well. Jones hits both the free throws. And misses the first of the technical. Now this will be the second. So Moses gets the foul, and he misses the second. A little disgusted with himself. 82% shooter, and up until those 2 misses was perfect in Big Ten play. Indiana with the ball right in front of us. And it comes right in to Jones. Gives it right back to Meeks, and Meeks goes up to Chaney. Gets a move and loses the ball.
Street reached around from the back and knocked that ball away.
3 on the way, no. To Skinner, they haven't given up. Outside, this is Street, no. Back up again, no. This time, Nover knocked out of his hands.
He just can't hold on to that rebound without it being slashed at. Iowa very good at that. Out of bounds to Indiana.
AC Earl is back in. I said before, it's a harassing-type defense and a harassing-type press. They're just all over you.
Indiana's kept their composure, though, in the second half with that great shooting percentage, and they've really moved out now. Got a 24-point lead.
Now let's see what Meeks can do. He's going to be defended by Street, and he doesn't have a lot of room to get that ball in. There it is. And up court it comes. And we got some motion to get that ball in. Otherwise, Meeks was in a lot of trouble. Fans wanted 5 seconds. Meeks drops it off. After Cheney, Indiana playing with good rotation on the...
Well, they're spreading the floor. They're avoiding the double teams. And they get a good shot. Damon Bailey with the fake shot.
85-59. Indiana's largest lead, 26 points. Make that 24 as Liddell Davis comes back to hit his. Here's Jones. And a great move by Matt Nord.
Looks like Indiana will slow it down unless they have the layup. And that time Nover did. He went quickly in with it.
Iowa wants timeout. 5:12 remaining. 87-61. Back after these messages. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Introducing Geo. Not a car, a whole car line.
With Prism.
A quality leader.
Tracker.
A fun 4x4.
Metro.
A high mileage leader.
Storm.
A new sport coupe.
Hey, let's see that Prism one more time. Geo Prism. Now with 500 cash back and 600 first-time buyers bonus, you can save up to $1,100. That's value. That's Geo Prism. In Central Indiana, people are getting to know Geo Prism at your local Chevy Geo dealer.
Who comes to mind when you think of a strong, innovative bank serving over 5 million customers here and across the country?
There's only one place you'll find everything you need to find. The easy-to-use Ameritech Pages Plus. The complete Indiana Bell Yellow Pages.
There's the score, the time remaining, 87-61, Indiana. Iowa with the ball, and they bring it in right away. This is Smith. They're going to have to get, at least start trying to generate some outside shooting. This is Skinner. He steps up. This is inside the line, and it's for 2 only. That's his first basket. He averages 8 points, and a foul, pushing foul, will give Indiana the ball to go to the line at the other end.
It's the only play Iowa really has now to score, to press if they don't still commit the foul, but that's Skinner's 5th, and they really need him in there. He only got 2 points. He just scored that basket. Normally a good 3-point shooter. He just did not get those shots today.
Number 23, Jamal Meeks.
Jamal Meeks hasn't seen a lot of action here in the second half.
Rebound, 18, rebound!
And he gets that one to drop, and his only points tonight have been from the line.
Indiana now 20 of 24 from the field here in this second half.
That is astounding. This one, will it go? No, it's not going to. Look at Nover fight for the ball. Out of bounds, whose ball? That's going to be Iowa ball. So, with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, Iowa walks it up. Smith walks into Meeks. And a whistle. Contact underneath. AC Earl limps away, and the foul goes against Indiana.
Well, the clock just moves so slowly. There's so many whistles that stop action, but again, that's the style that Iowa would love.
shooting 1 at the moment.
It's hard for Indiana, even when they have the ball. They get some good shots.
Yeah.
They don't really run that clock all 45 seconds.
Well, the Hoosiers lead by 25 with 4:44 remaining. Oh, boy, great body control by Bailey. And another turnover. Just can't quite get down on the floor. Knight's upset about the pass.
Now, Graham got the travel, but Jamal should not have made that pass. Let's look at the turnovers. Indiana averages just under 16. They've got 24. And Iowa averages 17. They've got 23.
Moses makes the pass right underneath Jamal's arm. A.C. Earl leans in, gets two.
Basket by A.C. Earl.
Loses the ball. Oh, what an alley-oop to Rodell Davis. And a foul. This will go against number 23, James Winters. That's
Great
his
play
fourth.
here. Watch the pass to Davis. High in the air. Great timing. And he's able to finish that play. Davis, only 6'3", gets up real well.
Bailey will be going to the line on the fourth foul on Winters. Winters comes out.
And the 19th foul of the Hawks.
The 19th foul against Iowa. James Winters sitting down. Bailey, who has now reached double figures, right at his Big Ten average. High arching shot, and it finds the bottom of the net. And Indiana has 90, a 23-point lead, 90-67. Street will fire. Street scores from three-point range.
He didn't want to take that shot. The crowd cheered him on, and he gets it.
Bailey challenges, passes to Norberg. He started to challenge AC, drew him over, and then hit Matt.
Good play there. The bounce pass especially, because that's hard for the defense to steal.
High lob. That was more of a pass than a shot. And it hit nothing, including no pay dirt for Iowa. 3 minutes, 21 seconds left to play. Boy, what a pace of a game. It's just now beginning to slow down a little bit.
Iowa's man-to-man now. So Indiana will have a little easier time moving the ball around.
To the glass goes Rodell Davis. Here's Smith. Pass inside. AC puts an elbow down into the side of Matt Nover and gets two more.
He still has 30, yeah.
92-72. Indiana by 20. 2 minutes, 41 seconds left in this game. Indiana conceivably can go on to its fourth Big Ten victory. And will await Ohio State this coming Monday night at Assembly Hall. Knocked away. Smith lets three fly.
Looks like he stepped on the line, but he moved so quickly.
Pressure again on the ball. Winters back in. Moses back in.
Indiana had that lead up to 27. It's now down to 17. So even in the last stage of the ball game, Iowa keeps cutting into that lead. Pat Knight in the lineup now for Linden.
Jay Webb is also in for the Hawks. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left to play. Now look at Webb. Webb has a decided height advantage. And still, Jamal manages to get the ball in. Across the line, up to Nover. Bailey, Nover, and count the basket.
On the basket.
Well, Nover stayed strong that time. He covered some ground, but kept that pivot foot with three Hawkeyes around him. Got the basket and the foul.
That is the fourth foul against Earl.
Rebound, Jay! Rebound!
Matt Nover will be shooting one. That's the 10th team foul against the Hawkeyes. So all fouls after this for Indiana will be two-shot opportunity. Smith. Off to Moses. That's short. And over the back. And we walk down and test that two-point shot. That will be on Moses. Personal number 2 on Moses, and the 11th team foul.
The advantage of Coach Tom Davis's style is he doesn't really worry about fouls. You know, there's no one star player that has to get the 20 or 25 points a game. He's got so many guys he can bring in and out that the leading, they've had 6 different leading scorers over the course of the year. And so they can play this style, and if a guy picks up a lot of fouls, Skinner fouls out of the ball game, they can bring somebody else in. It's the style of play that's so important. He just keeps shoveling the guys in and out.
Won't go. Almost knocked in. Look at Knight fight for the ball, but he steps on the line. 1 minute, 38 seconds. 20-point Indiana lead, 95-75. Well, once again, the second half, Laz, the bench has provided some great assistance to Calvert Cheney and Eric Anderson. There is a shot. Wow, that's Moses. What a great shot that was. Back over his back. Fans want an over and back, but there was no transfer of the ball across the line. Great shot by Pat Knight.
And he made it over A.C. Earl. A good basket for Pat.
3 on the way. No. Chased down. Knocked out of bounds off the foot of Greg Graham. Iowa to toss it in. Winters back in. Bartles sits down at the 103 mark. And Indiana walks away with the ball. Here's Knight. Meeks looking. Graham had broken to the basket. A little weave, a little cross screening. There's the screen. Pick set outside by Nover. Knight. Good visibility inside. Knight drops it off. Oh, look at the slam dunk by Greg Graham.
Graham just kept going up. He started off about 3 feet away from the basket and made that jam, brought everybody off the Indiana bench to their feet.
Indiana has the ball. They lead 99-77. Who's going to take the shot? Won't go. Knight, but he stepped on the line again with 10 seconds remaining. So Indiana's effort to get over the 100-point margin again this year might be falling short here. As a matter of fact, I think it is. Indiana will not contest this ball coming up the court and will play out the final 7 seconds. Well, just as I say that, Graham steps in for a steal.
I don't think the team knows what that means, Chuck. They're going to contest it all the way to the end.
Now, they don't even know there are 99 points on the board, I don't think. At least the ones in there don't. To Winters. And Nover ties him up but commits the foul.
It's a big win for Indiana. It's always tough. Indiana, before last year's win here, had lost 5 games in a row in Iowa City. They pulled out last year's game by 4 points and are going to win big here today. This is really the biggest weekend we've had early in the conference at Iowa, and of course home on Monday night to Ohio State. And that game will probably be for the undisputed lead of the Big Ten.
Oh, it almost went. Nover tried to get the point that had put him over the century mark. Well, they fell short by 1, but they win the big game. Final score of this contest, Indiana 99, Iowa 79. We'll be back after these messages.